a B-roll. My guys, what is going on with you? It's been literally way too long. We've missed all of March Madness. Welcome to April. Gitano, how you doing over there, man? How's the knee? How's recovery? What's going on?
8 weeks out, and I'm just thankful to be alive, man.
Bet. June, what about you, man? How's life at the Capitol in Salem?
Well, you know, the springtime is coming. The cherry blossoms are blooming. It's a great time of the year out here in Oregon's capital, and excited to talk some sports with you fellas today.
Yes, sir. Well, very topical, very relevant, probably going to be over by the time you listen to this. The first round of the women's Final Four is going on as we speak. South Carolina is going to win. I will predict that, and it'll come true by the time this is live. I don't think anyone cares about that game. Everyone's tuning in to Caitlin Clark versus Paige. I want to hear Gitano's thoughts on this. But off the top, I think we can all agree that as fathers of daughters and just as, warm-blooded humans, it's good to see the masses care about women's hoops. It's been a big paradigm shift. Real stoked about, what happens tonight. But Gitano, what's your take on the rise of women's hoops, especially through college hoops?
It made me a fan because I went and supported last weekend here in Portland to see UConn and USC play on Saturday and Monday night, and the matchup of Juju and Paige was electrifying. And as a fan, I went with my dad, and it was really amazing to sit there and just see good basketball and competition. And
is Pops one of those old heads that's like never really respected the women's game, and did that change, or is he is he a guy that's just been like hoops is hoops?
My dad has been a women's hoop fan for the longest time, to be honest with you. He has always liked the women's game from the days way back in the day.
Julia Stiles days.
But Dad has always took me to the ABL games, the Portland Power at the Coliseum.
That's pre-Portland Fire.
Okay, so yes, ABL.
Hey, I wasn't.
Right?
It did sound a little accusatory, but I wasn't accusing. I was just curious because I was going to use that as a case study for flipping the switch this year. How was Paige in person, man? Like, we've all seen the story. She's come back. She was going to be the shit, right? Freshman year, basically had to sit out 2 years with injury, and now she's back going toe to toe with literally the woman's GOAT. How was she in person?
Well, let me give Juju some credit because it was amazing watching two alpha females guard each other. They didn't hide. Juju was up for the challenge, but let me tell you something. That girl is smooth. She works without the ball, backdoor, and then she's a kind of guard like Dwayne Wade was, who wasn't a three-point shooter, but would hit critical three-point shots when it mattered, and that was what Paige did on Monday night here in Portland to lift UConn to the win.
June, what's your take on women's hoops? You are as I am an experienced, a seasoned women's coach or girls coach.
I am. I've coached youth basketball for a long time. Coached girls for a long time too. And I would prefer to coach girls. If we're being honest, y'all, I find it a lot of fun coaching these girls 100%. Teams. It's just they just seem to have more fun out there. In the competition, like the fight is still there. It's like so I'm with it. But I will say, hey, we're honest on this podcast, right? We're not fronting. I wasn't the biggest women's basketball fan growing up, right? Until recently, I got on with this new wave of stars that popped up, and that's what we're talking about here. These women are stars, and that's why the women's game is more popular than the men's game in college ranks, at least, right? It's just you got relatable people. You got a group of girls that are all just like top notch, right? So like you got that kind of those media rivalries that you can create. Caitlin Clark versus Paige Beckers, right? I mean that just writes itself. So it's really about the star power in the women's game right now. I think a lot of the questions are oh, can this momentum keep going when Caitlin leaves, right? And I think it will because of the stars that are there. I mean, Juju's a freshman. She's going to be there for 2 more years. The sport's in good hands.
Do girls have to wait 3 years?
They have to wait a few years, yeah.
Okay.
Can I add something to that real quick?
Yes,
though,
please.
Gina, what you said about the stars? Because when we were younger, it was Gino versus Pat Summitt, Gino versus Kim Mulkey.
Mix in a Shamiqua Hold Squad here,
okay. So it's not the coaches' names anymore. It's now on the players who are the stars. Where in the men's game, the coaches are still the stars.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You don't
I also want to throw in one factor that I don't know if it is a factor or not, but it could be a coincidence that the rise of women's popularity in college hoops coincides with the rise of NIL and their exposure. Not only their exposure, but also the confidence that gives you. That like I'm getting looted, and nobody else has been able to do that before. Like there's no. I think the mental health aspect of NIL is something to weigh in too. Like it's kids aren't scraping by anymore, and in fact, kids are not going to class because they've been so popular they get hounded. So that's something that's always intrigued me is how that's going to play out. Aside from their career.
Yeah, and I don't want to discount the and we've talked about it on this pod before, so this isn't anything new, but the skill level of these girls right now. And I've said it, as well. The skill level of NBA players compared to players in the 1950s and 60s and 70s, like we're talking about just skill. Dribbling, shooting from deep ability, just shot form, all that. They're more skilled, okay? And the same thing is for women, but I think with the women it's even more so. I think they have really picked it up in the last 15, 10 years. And they are just like the handles that these girls have in this March Madness is insane.
Well, it is, Junior, I want to double down on what you said about coaching. Having coached my son's teams and my daughter's teams, I look forward to coaching the girls so much more because they're not up to mischief. They're there for a reason, and it's not to be the class clown. I don't know if that develops later or what that is, but they listen. They fucking listen. All right. And Gitano, I want to listen to what you have to say, bro.
Yeah.
No, with the skill level, because I think that the young ladies now are being in the gym with the boys. And so the girls are getting trained the same way the boys are. And so that's why the games look similar, because the shooting and all about precision ball handling, step backs and those type of things, where it's not a beat you up and post up type of game, where the girls' game is not the same when it comes to athleticism underneath the rim, but when it comes to shooting and step backs, they can do that just as good as the men do.
And can I add one more thing as a big man? So I love that post players are much more relevant in women's basketball than men's basketball nowadays. I mean, you got a solid post in a women's game, they can really, really dominate. It's harder for post players to dominate, especially in the NBA. I mean, they almost kind of officiated out of the game, but even for college, it's
sorry,
tough.
Zach Edey, you came 20 years too late, bro.
Yeah.
Speaking of the men's game, though, I want to bring something up that I'm going to look at the receipts, but of the text thread of the podcast partners, I said that my man Junior played, or Junior's game resembled a young man named DJ Burns Jr., who no one had heard of at the time, but everyone knows now. And everyone loves him. Like from the mannerisms to just, it looks like the dude is just a pleasure to be around, to being a junior. You know what I'm saying? Like lefty, soft touch, not light in the pants. Junior, what do you think? How do you compare the two of your games? I know your jumper's nicer, but his float game is nice.
Look, man, this guy's playing at major D1 level, getting to the Final Four. I am not even going to put myself in the same league as him. I will say some of those things, yeah, we've got some similarities. But what has impressed me is his ability to stay on the court, even being that big. he's not taking a lot of rests, and at the end of those games, he's still making an impact. And so I've really been impressed with just his will to keep playing hard late in games, and obviously it's paid off. This Zach Edey matchup is going to be, I think it's going to be funny. It's going to be funny, man.
Yeah. I can't wait for that one, man. What the other guy on the on NC State that really impressed me and actually stood out to me more than DJ Burns when I first caught them in the ACC championship was DJ Horn. I think it's DJ Horn. Last name's Horn. The point guard, number 0. Yeah. He is a running back with the basketball. That dude, I told my son to watch his footwork because we're working on Euro steps, and that dude will come at you and go left, right, and finish with either one and hit a crazy step back. I don't think it's going to translate to the NBA, but he's fun to watch in college. Any other takes on the Final Four, JD?
It's a lot to say to UConn. They brought back two starters, from championship team to get this far. And I think it's their championship to win. I want to give you guys a little history question real quick. Who was the last player to win MOP but on the losing team?
Give me a decade.
In the championship game?
50s.
Oh, dog, Jerry West.
Jerry West.
No, that was the finals. Player. Was that the college too? I thought it was in the finals.
Both. MOP for college. All right. Now, I'm going to throw it to the women's side. There's been one woman to do it.
Got to be Cheryl.
Nope. It was, and it's very prevalent because it's Dawn Staley when they lost in 91.
Oh.
Okay.
And Purdue is making the Final Four for the first time since 1939. Do you know who the leading player was on that team? He's very relevant too.
Gene Cady.
John Wooden.
Oh, wow.
For real? Bro, I feel like you made those up. I'm going to fact check you on that because I ain't heard neither of those.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, internet, fact check him. Let us know in the comments, okay?
Go ahead. I'm not saying I'm bulletproof, but
hey,
I just looked those up myself to verify.
Wait, hold on. I got one more thing to say, though.
Y'all, we got lots of things to say.
We filled out some brackets.
No, we didn't. Well, hold on. We did. Let me check. I don't know.
Who's winning right now?
Probably not me.
I
Probably
think
Junior.
You are Junior.
You bringing it up, fool?
Hey.
Let me check.
So I got my champion.
Wins.
Did you pick UConn?
I put Purdue as my champion, though.
Oh,
UConn.
Is someone in striking distance?
So that's who I got.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I picked an all Pac-12 Final Four in one of my throwaway bracket because how dope would that be? It was literally possible to have all 4 Final Four teams be from the Pac-12 on their.
It wasn't doing
on their
that
swan
bad
song
through the Sweet 16
man,
either.
You know what I gotta say? I know this is dead and gone, but like watching that Oregon game, you know what stuck out to me is
just sad.
This is what hurt is Dante scoring got to his head and he started thinking he was Hakeem in the post and they were giving him the ball in the post. Dog, you are a put back, like broken play type of dude. They don't run play. Yeah, lob guy. Pick and roll lob
Clint
guy.
Capella.
He's Clint fucking Capella. And why the fuck did he think he should get the ball in the post with the game on the line, the season on the line? Dude's career's on the line. I was hot, bro. I was in the store watching that on my phone.
One-on-one.
Yeah, man. Anyway, that's funny. I'll never forget this. I was a kid when I read it in Michael Jordan book, but he said Clyde Drexler was one of those guys where it wasn't a bad thing if they got off to a hot start because they would get in their own head and start shooting more than they should have. So he kind of did that to himself.
My Mount Hood coach used to tell us sometimes we want somebody to be open. Okay,
you know what I'm saying?
As long as we want you to shoot, make a couple, start feeling good, and then those laws of averages most likely are going to come into play.
Yeah, but that ego won't. That ego gonna stay inflated.
It's locked in, bro.
Oh man. So I'm looking forward to a good Final Four. And then as these gentlemen matriculate through the world, they will eventually, some of them, find themselves in the National Basketball League, which is coming to a wrap for the 2023-2024 season. The Blazers suck. The Spurs suck. The Lakers are mid. Anything else we want to say?
Yeah, I wanna bring up something that Junior talked about, and we got a good handful serving size of Big Vic, Big Slim, and the question was, is he a top 10 player in NBA? And I'm gonna answer right now. Hell yeah, he is.
He's top 5. I'm starting a team. I don't know who else I would pick instead of him. Giannis is injury prone. Everybody else is old.
Come on with it.
Yep.
I mean, Luka might be the only one on planet Earth who is as special as Vic.
And I feel like you guys are always like more. I'm always like, as a fan, just because I want him to be so good that I'm downplay him.
No, it's like your kid. It's like your kid. You're like, let everyone else talk good about him. You're looking at all the flaws or rooms for improvement.
I trust Big Vic more than I trust the Spurs.
Oh hell yeah, bro!
That's wild that y'all are looking at that from outside in, like thinking that. Just because I'm such a fan, so I got my fan glasses on, man. Like I think I know he's that special, but like if
like I said, I trust him more than the Spurs because I don't know what the Spurs are going to do with him, and that's what I was saying in that group text when we were talking about it. I was like, I trust him, but like let's remember, like a lot of great players barely won NBA championships.
Yeah,
that are big men.
He's got a long way to go.
I know he's got a long way, but I'm saying, but there's also only a window when those big men do win that though, and that's sooner than later.
He just turned 20 years old.
You know what, though, June? I'm not going to say it, but you know what? He still hasn't taken an injury. Like, that's the only thing.
He's rolled his ankle a few times. So, like, I don't know. But he's bounced back, though. I mean, honestly, y'all, I want to follow this train of thought for y'all so bad, but I can't because they have one of the worst records in the league. And I don't want to get that high yet. I think his ceiling is limitless, but I don't want to get that high yet, okay? I want to be grounded. I want to just let the process happen. I know. Yeah.
Do you feel like he's one of your kids?
Nah, man, but he's young. He's young. So and Christy watches, my wife Christy watches a lot of the games, and so she's always like, oh, he's such like a little kid. Like, so I feel like Christy does think like he's like one of like our kids.
He's like the dog, just like the dog is one of the kids, like go get your sister. Look at your brother on TV.
But yeah, I mean, look, I think he should win Defensive Player of the Year. And I don't think it's ridiculous if people want to call him top 5 or top. I think top 5 is a little high, Chris, but I think top 10,
top 5.
And this is the worst he's going to be. He's still learning. Like I heard somebody say the other day, like he doesn't even have a go-to move yet. Like wait till he learns how to get that contact, absorb contact, go up for shots when he's getting leaned on, draw those fouls. He's going to be a little scary, y'all.
Yeah. He's going to have that 10-10-10-10 game,
Yeah, I mean, he'll get that quadruple double.
That's what I'm saying. So I was talking to my son KJ about this last night. As Domantas Sabonis got his 3,000th triple double. It's like the triple double. It's a double double. The triple double is the double double. And so, my thing is, we started talking about the quad double, and I was like, shit, wasn't the last one David Robinson? It was literally. Mm-hmm. We're going to have back-to-back Spurs
Vic will get a couple of
quadruple doubles. Yeah, because I don't think anyone got one since David Robinson in the 90s when he was scoring champ. And Alvin Robertson before that. Playoff race.
Mark my words on this podcast, though. Vic going to get at least 5 quads before his career is over.
5 quads, bro?
5. Wow. 10 block games.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe steals.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's going to get 10 block games. It's as if he gets the assists those games, too. Will he have more games of 10 blocks or 10 assists?
10 assists. 10 assists. He got dimes. But also, he's had so many games with 6 to 8 blocks already this year. I mean, you get 8 blocks, you can get 10. Okay? You go to overtime one of those games, probably got... Yeah.
He's only going off of intuition and that innate, like, way to play basketball. No one has taught him... I mean, he's learning. I'm sure they have, but, like, strategy on, like, how to get the easy help side. He's just going off pure...
Exactly.
I can't wait to see him in the All-Star game.
I know. Should have been this year or whatever.
It should have been, man. But you got to win more than 4 games, I guess.
That's true.
Anyway, hey, so the playoff race. Any surprises? Let's take a step back. We are millennials. we grew up on a playoff format where the first round was wild and spicy of a best of 5.
Yeah.
Now we're like to this weird commercialized version of everything's a game. It's 40 games and 40 nights. Everything is best of 7. It's like literally 8 games a night for 2 months. But the play-in brings some more intrigue. And at first, I'm not a big, I don't like change, get off my lawn. But the play-in is that March Madness, winner go home, 90s best of 5 series feeling. What's your guys' take on the play-in? And then we can get to, the play-in scenarios.
I love it. I love it, Chris. I'm with you. We want to talk about spice. It's a way to do it. Since they moved from the 5 to 7 game format, that first round, especially with the 1 and the 8 seed, felt a little drab. Now you got the first round where it's just exciting games, like almost no matter what, right? The playing games have proven to be a good thing. At least I think. I mean, check the viewership numbers. They probably back me up. Okay, I'm gonna assume they do. All right, but they've been close games. They've been competitive. And it's cool to see that 10 seed, try and make it into the playoffs. So I'm excited about it. JD, what about you?
Well, I think it's must see TV. You get LeBron and Steph playing in the first ever play-in game the other day. You had Miami playing in the play-in tournament, making to the NBA Finals.
Right.
So let's just be honest. Competition is competition, and that's what this is. And it's actually got something on the line. So I'm all for it.
Well, okay, so now let's get into the teams. Like you mentioned, you could have Steph versus LeBron in a play-in scenario.
Yeah.
What does the world come
teams
to?
Weren't good enough.
Hey.
Keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck.
The same LeBron James that took literally 8 guys that worked at, the local plant and took them to the finals in 2007 against the Spurs, who gave them the gentleman's sweep. Let them get one if not feel too depressed. That LeBron, nah, man, he blames his teammates too much, bro. I respect LeBron in almost every way possible, except for since he's gotten old, he started blaming people. Like, bro, you're fucking LeBron James. Stop blaming people. Go fucking win on your own. That's what you do. It's not your teammates' fault. Kobe did that once.
Hey, but man, we talking about aging superstars, y'all. I mean, like that. Yeah. If it was 6 years ago, and we're talking about Steph versus Bron in the play-in game, okay. But like they're both in their twilight, man. Like I'm here for that matchup. It's like who's gonna kill the other one's like a career. You know what I mean? Like because
who's gonna end it?
If Golden State goes outside in the play-in, it's over, right? They're gonna blow it up, or at least the team's gonna look a lot different next year. I think same thing for the Lakers. Lakers losing the play-in, that's gonna be a whole different team next year.
So kind of like how Damian Lillard ended Russell Westbrook's career with that bye game winner against OKC, because that dude ain't been nothing like he used to be since then.
Yeah, but you could say OKC bounced back though, so at least he did. Yeah. He didn't bury OKC.
I'm gonna fuck about
franchise.
OKC. Russ a bitch though. Yeah. Like I was happy about that.
You don't gotta use that type of words for the man. He's a good guy.
Russ is cool, man.
Man.
Russ is cool.
Hey, no, I am unapologetically like a Russ hater from my experience working with Dame and the Blazers and seeing the way that Russ treats other humans. Me and my homie were at the 2015 All-Star in New York between Barclays and MSG. There's the open media scrum. I was getting sound bites and interviews with, certain folks. He was like, hey, I'm going to go over to the Westbrook, media scrum and pop a question in and get his answer. And this kid is, younger, shy, more of a computer type dude. And he had the balls to ask the question. And the way Russ snapped back at him and like just kind of dismissed him and did not answer his question during an all-star media scrum, fuck that guy. All right. So I just don't like the guy. And then I've heard things from Dame about how the things Russ says on the court, and I'm good, man. You guys can stick up for him all you want, but anyway,
I'm not sticking up for him. I just don't think we should call the grown men the B word. That's all I'm saying.
I'm gonna say it, bro. He said it to he said it plenty of fucking times to my partner Dame.
Hey, well,
get out of here.
I'm not going to discount the personal experience, Chris. Okay, I just, he seems cool with the players in the leagues. So most of the players seem to really, really like him. So
I know. I just got vendettas that I hold on to.
Okay, all right, that's fair. That's fair. Like I said, man, I'm not discounting your life experience.
Hey, okay, here, Pop. Hey, neither of you guys look at your notes.
Okay.
Tell me who was the number 4 seed in the East. Or just rattle off some teams that it might be.
Oh,
it's the Knicks.
It wasn't Knicks. Knicks are 5th now. I was just looking at it.
Orlando
Magic.
Yeah. Can we get into that? That shocked me.
They just beat the Pelicans at home.
They have a bunch of B+ players, and somehow they're winning. Who is their coach? They're doing something down there.
Could not name the Magic's coach. Yeah, get out of here with that, Chris. You know we can't name that damn coach's name.
Is that Atkins?
Is it Atkins? Man. Keith Atkins? Orlando Magic coach.
Yeah, hey, I'm sorry.
I follow their Jamal Mosley. Who the fuck is that?
Jamal Mosley. Okay, that's who. Yeah.
I follow their gentleman. I follow their social media guy. They do some cool shit on social media, but
there's such an obscure franchise. There's such an obscure franchise though. Like they've never won anything. They had that terrible run for 4 or 5 years, but generally they're like mid, just kind of mid. Outside like
it's they're an AAU team. They are a collection of really athletic, talented players that are not a team.
Right.
Okay, hold on. I got a question then. Since you said that, Junior, I'm gonna ask you, Chris, as a Blazer fan. Because to me, Orlando's had way more success in the NBA playoffs than the Blazers have, and they've been to 2 more recent NBA finals.
Okay,
and they're a lesser franchise. I'm just asking, would you rather have those trips than what the Blazers have been?
No, not at all. Because you got legacy, bro. They get it literally twice as old as them. They have that streak of going to the playoffs for 14 straight years.
Yeah, that
I'd rather
streak is
have
impressive.
Penny and Shaq as my legacy than Clyde Drexler. Okay.
Oh, if you didn't ask me in what context. If you're talking about fucking merchandising and popularity, sure.
Yeah,
starter jackets.
We're
talking about starter jackets and shit. Hardwood classics. Come on.
But what's the one thing that all those stars had in common is they left.
I'm just talking about legacy. I'm talking about history. I'm talking about the fucking Veterans Memorial Coliseum. 11,888, capacity, like that type of stuff, bro. Like they don't have that. There's not basketball culture. There's no Rip City of Orlando. So
that's
fuck
what
off
I'm saying.
with that.
I just wanted to bring
franchise.
That up and just.
I know. Go ahead. Hey, how's that summer league championship treating you, or that mid-season tournament, or whatever the fuck? Get out of here, bro. Your best player complaining about the other players like he's not good. Come on.
Hey,
telling his son to go to the NBA.
But okay, so to the I mentioned this pregame or pre-show, but the Knicks, what a bad break having Julius Randle out. I think they're easily the 3rd seed in the East if they haven't had those injuries this year. I don't know that they got enough to win it. I do agree with
that's
my
your
girl
sleeper pick.
No, I'm saying I do agree with my girl coach Becky that Jalen Brunson or having a small point guard, it just isn't going to get you a championship. I mean, there's too much history.
Dude isn't small. He's 6'3", almost 3 bills. I don't know how big he is, but he's fat.
Isaiah Thomas is the only small point guard to lead. And even then, yes, he was a lead for his team, but that was such a team,
Which Isaiah Thomas we talking about? Because I remember 54 points in the playoffs, Seattle native.
Hey, get out of here, bro. You know what I'm talking about, all right? I'm just saying, that's a bad break for the Knicks.
Yeah,
hey, what about
the
Suns,
Randall's been hurt all year, though.
I know, but what about the Suns? Are they
let's stay in the East real quick.
Okay.
Everyone is saying the Bucks are sliding and falling off. I think they're just preparing. They're like, hey, we're in a decent spot. Let's get everyone healthy. Let's focus on the playoffs. Fuck these regular season games. And let's go to the business in mid to late April. I think that's what's happening. So I'm not worried about these regular season games with the Bucks. From the Cavs, Magic, Knicks, Pacers, everybody else, yes, all these regular season games matter. But I think for the Bucks, and the Celtics, right now it's about preparing for the playoffs and not winning these games, even if they fall some spots. Like the Bucks are tied, they're up there neck and neck with everybody else, but I don't think it matters where they fall if they are right for the playoffs.
Well, I'll say that a couple teams recently kind of made this a trend where, regular season don't matter. Like a lot of LeBron's teams in the past, and especially when he was in the East, regular season don't really matter. We'll get to the playoffs, we'll run it. Kind of the Warriors, the same thing, right? Hell, even the Spurs.
You mean the Jimmy Butler? What he's doing right now?
Even the Spurs, when they were winning, they didn't really, they wanted to win, but like they weren't tripping about that 1 seed, right? They were just getting into the playoffs and we're going to do our thing. I don't know if the Bucks have earned that respect. I'm going to be perfectly honest, Chris.
I don't think they have as a team, but I think they have with Dame and Giannis, because Giannis is so self-aware of his legacy depending on the playoffs, especially after those last 2 years, especially after last year of all things.
Yeah.
He is not going to fuck up in the playoffs. He's not going to get hurt. So I think they're behind the scenes doing, like, who cares? I don't even know what they're 5-5 in their last 10 games. So they're not winning a bunch, but Dame and Giannis have been alternating games. They're thinking they're playing chess, not checkers. JD, any thoughts on the East before we go to the West?
It's, the seat is on fire. It is extremely hot over there for Coach Doc Rivers. And, I love Coach Spoelstra, but if you can't win 50 games in the regular season since LeBron has left, really, how good of a coach are you?
What they win last year?
In the final. They haven't won 50 games, bro. You were the 8th seed. Okay. So
why does that matter if you're making it to the finals, JD?
And they lost a starter in the playoffs. They lost a starter in the first half of the first round of the playoffs.
Like, the point is not to win the conference. The point is to win a championship.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying is that teams that don't win 50 games don't win championships.
You're right. Okay, I got you.
Do you know who the last team was?
Yeah, Jatano, he quizzed us on this last time, right?
No, it was 40 or something.
No, it was the 40-20 rule, but I'm talking about give me 5 minutes of looking on here, and I'll tell you the last team, because I don't think there ever has been. You know what? It might be Houston Rockets. Yes. The 95 Houston Rockets were probably that team because they were a 6 seed, and they're the last high seed to win the championship. So it's only one team, and forever. So that's what I'm saying, is that being consistent in the regular season means you're going to have a good playoff run. That's all. And that's what I'm saying about Miami. They've been the team, but it is Boston's, it's their conference to win. I'll digress.
Hey, JD, I respect everything you just said, and I do not disagree with it. But I also want to bring up no 16 seed had ever beat a 1 seed until, 5 years ago? Now it's happened twice. So things happen. Things change. I'm just saying, I believe in the Bucks in the East to at least make the conference finals. But let's flip over to the West, because the Timberwolves are not the truth, bro. The Timberwolves are the number 1 seed right now. Who knows when we wake up tomorrow if it'll be the Nuggets or the Thunder. But first of all, Anthony Edwards and Wemby and Luka are the 3 best players in the league right now. Hot take. But in terms of like building a franchise moving forward, those 3 dudes. What's your thoughts on anything off the top on the West before we get specific?
Well, now you clearly want to talk about Luka, so let's talk about Luka for a minute, Chris. Okay?
No, the dude has he made a fucking underhanded 3-pointer the other day. Like,
no. What I'm saying, like, when I watch Luka, it's so wild because he doesn't look. Obviously, the whole thing is he doesn't look like he's a killer or whatever. But like, that's not even it. It's just that he just does kill. And it's like he just, you don't expect it, and then he just does the shit, and it's just so annoying. That little lazy step back 3, you're just like, hit you with it, and it's like, oh man. The Mavs are technically the Spurs rival, and they play whatever a lot because they're in the division. So like, I see Luka a lot, and every time he just cooks the Spurs, just cooks them. And I got mad respect for him now, Chris. I didn't before, but I do now.
JD.
Well, I just, stat check me real quick, and it is happened, but the least amount of wins for NBA champion is the Washington Bullets, but 44 wins. So, but
Yeah, how long ago?
the West, that was 77. Yeah. But the West, Luka is God. He's a different type of unicorn, man. It's crazy. I'm really happy to see him and Kyrie get some cohesiveness and turn into somewhat of a good watch, because it is hard to watch Luka play sometimes. I'm not gonna lie. That's just me as a basketball guy. Like, yeah, I'm just not a fan. I love Luka, but it's just sometimes it's hard to watch.
I think he gets it in though. He gets it in. It's like you watch him and you look at the box score. It's like he had 45 points, and you're just like, damn, that it did not seem like he just had 45 points right now. So I'm with you there.
I can't fucking hear a thing you guys are saying. I've been waiting to say that, and I saw Gitano do some shit.
Wait, bro.
Oh so fuck!
You
fuck
can't
these
hear
AirPods.
You can't. Can you hear me now? Hey, I know I get hated on for having the wired headphones, but I really like wired for.
Bro, Bluetooth is...
Nah, Chris, I'm with you, man. Like Bluetooth should be more reliable. Yeah, well, I'm just saying, man. It's been around long enough that it should be more reliable. Bluetooth. I'm with you, bro.
We had this guest speaker at T-Mobile. He's the editor in chief at CNET, and I've been dying to find out. I was like, I've been asking everybody at work, like, what is the next Bluetooth?
Yeah, and
he said the optimal environment is everything runs on 5G or 6G, including wireless headsets. Mm-hmm. So it's like getting rid of all these different radio waves and airwaves and just going on one fucking one. So everything works seamlessly, which makes sense to me.
So that'd be like the Wi-Fi, all that. Everything is the same speed.
Yeah, but there wouldn't be Wi-Fi. So it would be like 5G. So think about what you get on your phone, but that would power your home internet, your headphones, wireless devices, like anything. Because right now we have so many different bands like of spectrum that it's like interfering with itself.
Let's go.
So anyway, I think Luka is the guard version of Jokic. You look at him, like, this dude ain't nothing. I've actually met Luka in person. The day he was drafted, he was wearing a Hawks hat, and he came over to our station, was the first one on the NBA draft floor, and he's like, I'm supposed to get a head for the Mavericks. And I was like, I don't know, man. Go ask your agent. And he just was just dead ass. And he was unassuming. Like, he wasn't Luka then, he was still a kid. He still is. But he just doesn't strike you as someone that is going to be a cold-blooded killer, mm-hmm. and also have the basketball IQ off the charts, mm-hmm. and also fuck with you and get in your head like Gary Payton and MJ did. Like, he just has all the tools. So he's fun to watch. And then obviously Kyrie has kind of found his spot with that left-handed floater game winner over Jokic. Like, they're just a fun team to watch, man. Phoenix?
Yeah, I brought it up earlier. Did they hit their stride? Have they turned the corner?
If it's KD's team, yes. If Book still thinks it's his team, no.
Why? What against
Book? Because KD is a legend in the game. He's been here. He's been to the finals. He's won a chip. He's won NBA Finals MVP. He knows what it takes, and he needs these little dudes to just follow his lead.
I'm gonna hit you with the other. I'm gonna go the other way, Chris.
Yes, please hit him hard, June.
I'm gonna argue that the true legends of the game, the great ones, know when it's time to pass the torch. And
true,
if KD knows what's good for him, it's time for him to focus on how he can maximize Devin Booker so they can win this championship. Look at my guy Timmy D. Sacrifice. They popped with him and said, "Hey, look, we're not running to the post anymore. Okay, it's Tony Parker. Okay, and it's Manu.
Tony Parker,
and we getting it in. All right, Shaq down in Miami.
Hand it to D Wade. I do not disagree with those insights.
Okay,
that is a very, very good point, Junior. But let me just tell you one thing. It ain't time, baby. It ain't time yet.
It is
not time.
No.
Did you know when KD
time,
leads them in scoring, they are undefeated?
That's a good stat.
I just made that up.
Oh,
but thought about it.
but my question is, can they beat Denver?
No, nobody can beat Denver. They're going to win another chip. Jokic will be
that's
MVP.
the sad part about it.
What we're hoping for is something different, okay? That's why we live to watch this game.
If Nurk plays out of his mind, they can beat Denver.
And Nurk will play out of his mind.
Nurk can go a 7 to 10 game stretch of being like way better than he should be.
Yes. And more often than not, it's against Jokic. His very first game against Denver, when he came to Portland, I was still with the team. He had a 30-20 game on Jokic head, and they got the W. Like, he still has a chip on his shoulder for them choosing a 2-time MVP over him.
I mean, they're boys, though. It's like not like they're boys, but still, he wants to give it to him. You know? Of course he does.
Like if I was going to play Sammy, I would still try to bust his ass as hard as I fucking could.
Hell yeah, you would.
But after the game, we're homies. You know what I'm saying? Like it's that. I think it's that kind of thing. Gitano, any more thoughts on the West? We haven't talked about your boys because they're not a factor.
I'll just give a shout out to Mr. Mike James of AC Monaco on becoming the all-time leading scorer out there in European basketball. And I'll digress. The Lakers are who they are.
Yeah,
no. We can't leave this without. We got to show some respect. We got to show some respect to Anthony Davis for playing in like 85% of the games this year, y'all. Like,
okay, but you know who else has Kawhi or something?
It's true.
And the thing is,
Kawhi,
dudes aren't. He's not built to play that many games because he hasn't done shit this year. Like,
I know.
There's a reason why load management was his thing because he's not built to play every other night. I just noticed that last night.
They're like the 3rd seed in the West, man. 4th seed, okay.
They're gonna crumble, dog. They're not a team built like any team with James Harden is not built for success.
Bro, I feel like on this very same podcast, run this tape back, like 3 months ago, Chris was out here hyping up the Clippers.
Oh, I was. But then look at what James Harden became, because at the time James Harden became a part of the system, a part of the team. But if you watch him now,
he's just the system.
He's just chucking shit. He's Houston James Harden. When he's got broken ass leg Paul George, who's 10 times better than him, and Kawhi was on the bench, but like he has tools around. And Russ is. I'd rather play Bones Highland than Russ, but don't get me started. Dude,
bro, what about when James Harden went and passed the Paul George and went and defended on his shot? Y'all see that?
Yeah,
bro. James Harden is a weirdo for that, bro.
He's a nut, bro. Also, have you seen his receding hairline lately? Like, it's halfway back his head.
Yeah, you just gotta let that go.
Yeah, sometimes it's like you said, pass the torch, bro. It's time to just pull it all off. Yeah, you know? Wear a wig if you really, really, really want them, but you're not fooling anybody. Completely different topic. It is Friday, April 5th at 9 p.m. Pacific time last night. Jermaine Cole responded to Kendrick Lamar, and I think he dropped the 2024 ether. I really do think that he just kind of let it loose. We can go back and dissect how things went back and forth between those two dudes, but J. Cole was like, he was trying to not create beef by saying we're the big three. I feel like Muhammad Ali, like I'm not him. And then Kendrick had to get disrespectful. And then Cole had to finally tell him, like, dude, it's not a game. Things will happen if you keep coming at me. I tried to come at you peacefully, but I'm not a peaceful dude if you don't want to, if you want that version of me. A lot of people are comparing it to a little Tupac and Biggie. I hope it doesn't get to that. I hope it's more of a Machine Gun Kelly and Eminem friendly beef,
right?
With very harsh words and talks of straps and whatnot and hitters. But who knows? Who fucking knows? Because I feel like J. Cole has people in his circle that will actually do some shit. And I feel like Kendrick has some stands that will do some shit to get in his circle. Jatana, what's your take?
Man, my take is that it's on and popping between all these guys. This is real rap beef. I feel like Metro and Future, this is my comparison for sports. I feel like Metro and Future are Draymond and Steph Curry when they lost to LeBron and they had to go get KD to beat LeBron. And they're like, Future can't rap and Metro's a producer, and he's like, I got to go get my big brother. And I'm going to go get him because I can't say it like that. All right. So out there in the Hamptons. So that's what that is like. But I know that Jermaine, Mr. Aubrey, they going to come with something. And Drake's battle tested. He done won one. He done lost one. But he's battle tested. So we team light skin. So it's up.
Hey,
okay?
He's battle tested in the booth. All right. And him and Meek, I feel like Meek Mill's more about it than he was, but it never got to that. But if this gets to that, Drake is going back to Canada and hide until it's over.
Eh?
These guys are multimillionaires. Ain't nobody pulling out a gun. Okay?
But I'm saying, in people in the squad, like that is
okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like it just takes one of them to be too drunk or too on something, make a bad move. I don't know, bro.
Well, and hey, Chris prefaced the conversation with he surely hopes that it does not get there, right?
Want it to happen. I'm just saying.
That. Okay, I just want to reiterate that.
The possibilities are there. You guys have seen crazy people, and crazy people at an opportune time trying to be like, yeah, I'm team K Dot. I'm gonna take a shot. I'm just saying.
No, you're not wrong, Chris. You're not wrong. But when I look at all these media rap beefs,
you're a psychology major.
Does it not kind of make you feel a little bit like WWE, bro? Like that the hype, the beef, the creating the storylines. It's a guaranteed playbook that wins, bro.
I do if Cole was not involved because he is not fluff. If it was Kendrick and Drake, yes, because both those dudes are frauds. But Cole is real, bro. Like, literally, his first hit, Crooked Smile. I'm not going to get my teeth fixed. I'm going to stay me. Like, my favorite song on the planet is Love Yours. Like, he's so self-aware, and all he wants is just peace and harmony and some fire bars, bro. But now people are really crossing a line. And
I mean, you don't think there's
he had to put them in their place.
You don't think there's no pageantry to this? There absolutely is, bro.
Cole's not about that, bro. He's Mr. No Features, man. I really don't think so. Here's what it is. I hope it's not. Because it's like when you find out your favorite reality show or whatever was like all produced, it was all set up. It's like, oh, it just sucks the air out of it. I mean, I'm on the hype train right now, and I don't want to be pushed off it.
All right, look, Chris, I'm not going to take away your excitement right now. Okay, I think beef. I think it's a good thing. I think when you're talking about media, and obviously if it stays nonviolent, I can't condone any of that violent shit, man.
No, yeah.
But if you're talking about just like, I mean, this goes back to like the origins of hip hop, right? I mean, it's what hip hop kind of started. B-boy, like beef, like I mean, that's what it was, right? So I think it's good for the genre, as long as it stays within reason. And I don't. There's nothing wrong getting hyped on it. Man, people just got to stay safe out there, bro.
For real.
Metro said it. You need to pick a side. Okay? Period. That's what it is. And I'm picking the side. I think I need this. We need entertainment in a different way. And I'm going to keep it at that. We need some dudes.
So you're on Team Light Skin.
Come on, man.
Always.
Hey,
JD always
I got the complexion for the protection, okay?
Oh, man. Well, hey, my guys, it's been good rapping with you. Let's talk right after the Final Four, man. Let's talk next week. Let's get this on a regular cadence. Let's make this a thing, man. It's been good. It's been good talking. We got a good vibe. It's nostalgic.
Let's rock it. All right. Hope the fans doing well, y'all. We'll talk soon.
All right, my dudes. Peace.